Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here on the northern boundary of Toronto and Vaughan on Steeles Avenue West. We're at the northeast corner of Steeles and Bathurst. And I just got off the 960 Steeles West Express bus, took it from Pioneer Village Station. And less than an hour ago, I filmed a walking video at Vaughan Metropolitan Centre after scrapping an original idea to make a walking video on Rutherford Road because of traffic. And my next plan was to come over here, and I was also going to take the Vivo Orange bus to Promenade and the 88 down, but it wouldn't be feasible because my transfer window was about to expire. And of course, it's much easier for me to hop back into the subway and take the bus over. So yeah, we're still in Vaughan right now. But of course, on the other side of Steeles Avenue is Toronto, of course, city limits. And of course, the borough of North York. And today is Friday, November 21st, 2025. It is around 2:55 p.m. So pretty much the beginning of afternoon rush hour. This is a very busy thoroughfare. The last time I did a walking video on Steeles was back in the summer. I walked between, actually I forgot the name of the street, but it was actually in Vaughan, mostly in Vaughan, just near Jane, and then all the way to Pioneer Village subway station. But it's been a while since I've done a video along this stretch, and I actually like this one. Lots of interesting things from the apartment buildings to the car dealerships and strip plazas. And of course, as I've been saying, I used to go to school literally around the corner from here at Pleasant PS. I went there from grades 2 to 6. And I already talked about my memories of going to that school in a recent walking video I did along Yonge Street between Steeles and Finch. Here's our first squirrel of the video. Not the first one for me, but you can see he's just chilling on the tree, ignoring any traffic that goes by here on Steeles. Oh, there's more squirrels up ahead. So yeah, one walking video done. I also filmed an elevator in the area. And this is the second one. Because whatever ideas do I have? I go all over the freaking place making last minute decisions. But also, I'd rather save my Presto money for longer stays, even though I just reloaded it to $52 last night. And if you guys may remember, I also filmed a walking video here in the very early morning. It was still overnight though. I got my ass up at 3:45 a.m. and then I walked over to Bathurst Street, took the 307 night bus up here. By that time, it was around 4:45. It was a very surreal experience, of course. Just I was there, and I just decided to come up here in the middle of the night and walk all the way to Yonge, and then I took the 320 downtown. Hello, squirrels. Slightly chilly outside, even though it's around 9 degrees Celsius. Very cute. And like I said, coming back to this area brings back so many memories. There used to be so many great places around here. A lot of them no longer exist. And we do have a family friend, actually technically a family member, that lives also around the corner from here. So now as growing up, sometimes after school we'd often go to her house and have dinner. A squirrel going through the bag here. And there's like nothing in there. This is Emerald Lane, Village Gate on the right. Whoop. Holy shit. I never should have done that. I should have just crossed over there. What was the point of having this here? Seriously. Holy shit. Yeah, this confuses people. But I was also at fault. I never should have ran across like that. Yeah, sometimes I have to blame myself for being an asshole. Don't do that again. I also recently filmed a video on the 960. I think it was last week or the week before. I can't remember. Yeah, this comes as an example of poor urban design. They have a crosswalk there, but why do they want to add another crosswalk literally just a meter north? I don't think that makes any sense. But I could say I was definitely one to blame for that. And mind you, there are other times. Actually, not every time. There's probably like one or two times that I kind of like ran across. I didn't get honked at, but then I saw it coming and just moved back. I was like, okay, I'm an idiot. Don't do that again. So, yeah, some apartment buildings here on the left, and just some typical semi-detached homes on the right. Very common here in North York. And then it gets more commercialized up ahead. There's mostly strip plazas. There used to be a few car dealerships along here. Maybe we'll cross to the other side when we get to Hilda Avenue. It was kind of windy when I was in Vaughan. Not so much now. And then after this video, I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. I know I'm going to head to Finch Station. Okay, maybe I'll take a pit stop at Yonge and Eglinton for a little bit. Yeah, it's nice and sunny. It was raining earlier this morning, but it was very brief. Now it's just a mix of sun and clouds. Even the clouds look dark. But I really like the contrast of the lighting. Here's Palm Gate on the left, Cactus Avenue on the right. I was last month, walking around here to make a video on the 98 Willowdale. And yeah, my old elementary school is just a few minutes walk from here. We're not gonna go there since I also did a video walking around here back in the summer. But yeah, I am very familiar with this area, needless to say. Oh, here's one of a few car dealerships. There used to be a Chevy dealership here. And then a Honda one, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, this area's kind of changed. There's the 60 Steeles West bus. Of course, that's the local bus. Oh, look at this. They're building a new sidewalk. So that's the major change here. Again, we'll stay on this side. Just because, they have the more interesting stuff here. But also just down the street is the Center Point Shopping Mall. I've already talked about it the last time I was up here. It's slated to be demolished very soon. No official announcement has been made. But that's, of course, they're going to be building a new transit-oriented community to serve the future Steel subway station on the Yonge North subway extension to Richmond Hill. So yeah, they actually rebuild the sidewalk. And then several of these plazas, I visited them to film various elevators. Most of them were Otis ones. The other one was a Dover. Hey, there's a Timmy's up ahead, my favorite. Yeah, see, look, no exception to this street here, right? It's rush hour now. Traffic along here is very busy, but the worst part always suffers the most is between Jane and Weston. And I even saw that on Google Maps while I was making my way to Pioneer Village Station. That was my original plan. And then I realized I would get stuck in traffic and I'd be wasting a lot of freaking time. So I decided to say, screw that. Let's go to VMC instead. It's always good to plan ahead. I was thinking about it before making my way up there. And I think the next street up ahead is Hilda Avenue. There's the 88 Bathurst Street bus. Of course, that's a YRT bus. And for all you bus enthusiasts out there, that's a 2007 New Flyer D40LF. I wanted to redo a video on this route. Okay, this guy needs to get off the sidewalk. Yeah, I did a video on that route last year. That was from Finch Terminal to Promenade Mall. I'll have to do it at a less busier time though. And then for next Friday, which is Black Friday, thinking of getting my ass up early, maybe around like 6, and then maybe making a video on the Up Express train, and then see what it's like downtown on Black Friday. Eaton Center's opening up at 8 a.m., so 2 hours earlier, in anticipation of the many shoppers that will be there. And by the way, the community we're in is called Thornhill. It overlaps both Vaughan and Markham. As Hilda Avenue will cross over to the other side as we're getting closer to Yonge. And there's a McDonald's coming up as well. That I think I've been there once. Oh, I hear a freight train going by. There's a CN rail line just north of here. Yeah, that McDonald's, that's where Sapan's best friend Joshua works. When it was last year, Henry and I think Liam as well. Anyway, we visited that McDonald's where he works. There it is up ahead. And I believe that was my first time meeting Josh. I met him at other events, of course, including most recently at Winterfest at Canada's Wonderland on Saturday. There it is. I could go for some McDonald's. The last time I had it was back on Halloween. Or was it? Yeah, it was probably on Halloween. I'll probably have that for lunch next week. At least I plan to. Of course, not the healthiest thing in the world. Oh, there's a Henry's Cameras here. I didn't know that. My dad used to work at the one downtown back in the 90s. When he was a few years older. I think it was in his not early, but mid-20s, I would say. And there's also a Toys R Us here. Toys R Us is underrated. Even though they went bankrupt sometime before COVID, and then somehow they're able to stabilize operations, which is good. And Hilda Avenue, I did a walking video on that street last year. Same thing with Sapan. He's recorded many residential videos here in North York. There's the Mercedes. The new McVeggie, made with real veggies. But I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. But hey, at least it gives an option for those that are vegan and strictly eat vegan products. Lucky me, I eat everything except pork. I don't like pork, but so now we'll cross over to the city of Toronto side, as 15 minutes of video have been entirely in Vaughan. And surprisingly, we're almost at Yonge. There's another YRT bus, 812. So that means the unit would be from 2008. There it is, heading to Finch Terminal. All right, almost at Yonge. I don't know if I'll go into Centrepoint Mall. I mean, it's a very interesting mall, that's for sure. But it's slowly becoming a dying place. But I still often went there when I was a kid. I remember the Target that used to be there. Most recently, I was there with Sapan and Yoshi went into the Canada Computers. Number 960 bus. I guess when Line 6 opens, this route currently at Wilson will probably move over to Arrow like it was before. It makes even more sense. As I was saying in my last video, Line 6 is scheduled to open December 7th, although it's not on the news just yet. And once I hear that announcement, I'm gonna get my ass up to Finch West Station and make a walking video along Finch Avenue, at least from Finch West to Jane and Finch Station. I plan to document most of the route by walking, at least on different days. Make it a series. Same thing for Line 5. Whatever that will be. It probably won't be this year. And since it's a high priority video, I'll probably get that up immediately. Just because, you know, it's such a big deal. Pizza. I don't get the hate. Pizza is actually kind of underrated. But their dipping sauce is very good. For Domino's, it's definitely overrated. I grew tired of that chain. I did see a Gino's Pizza at Bathurst and Steeles when I started my video. I had Gino's twice. It was really good. And there's a TD Bank. And here it is, Centrepoint Mall. I want to go to a Starbucks. I don't know if I'll be getting a drink though. Maybe just like a cookie or something. I still have money on my gift card, just not much though. Actually, if I check my funds, I probably wouldn't have enough for a peppermint mocha. Got another thumbnail here. And tomorrow I will be downtown, probably solo. Actually, I do have a eye doctor appointment in the morning. Ooh, that bus is busy. So the neighborhood we're in is called Newtonbrook. And as I just said, I recently did a walking video from here along Yonge down to Finch. Apparently there's a party store that moved in, but I think the Canada computers are still there. There's the old Hudson's Bay store, permanently closed for nearly half a year. They still haven't removed the signage up there. And there's a proposal notice that calls for a transit-oriented community to be built around here. Of course, for the steel subway station. There's the Starbucks. I mean, I've been to that location already. Maybe I'll go to the one at Yonge and Eglinton. Chill out there for a little bit. Here we are at the busy intersection of Yonge and Seals. Hopefully I won't have to wait long for the next bus. Preferably the 960, since you know it's the express. There's a York Region ambulance, and this plaza just closed down. It had a Pizzaville and a comic book store. Yeah, all gone now. That's it for this video. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for the support. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more videos. Check out my others as well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, adios, sayonara, au revoir, and happy holidays. Peace out. Bye bye.